reviews were absolutely awesome for this film, but did it live up to the hype? Let's find out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new movie review. Today I'm going to be discussing IFC Midnight's brand new international Russian film, Sputnik, which Sputnik in Russian is actually for companion, which I find really interesting to see how this film ended up playing out. Okay, I was really looking forward to this film. I saw the trailer for this, absolutely adored it. I said, oh my god, the concept, the posters, everything looks awesome for this. I love alien movies. I love monster movies in general. I love these horror films where something comes down and, you know, they're gonna probably screw some people up. And honestly, let me tell you this, Sputnik is probably one of the biggest disappointments of 2020 so far for me personally. I was really looking forward to this film, and I found it to just be a mess, personally. There was a lot in here that really disappointed me. There's a lot in here that impressed me too, but I really found a lot of problems in this one for sure. Now, of course, you know what is really cool, guys, and what is great is hitting that like and subscribe button, because it helps me and it helps you get a bunch of early movie reviews, a bunch of content like this over here on a daily basis. As well, guys, I love talking movies, so make sure to comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. What are you guys excited for? Are you guys excited for this film? Are you not? Let's discuss it all down there. Sputnik takes place during the height of the Cold War, where a Soviet spacecraft crash lands after a mission gone awry, leaving the commander as its only survivor. After a renowned Russian psychologist is brought in to evaluate the commander's mental state, it becomes clear that something dangerous may have come back to Earth within sight of him. This, again, I'm not going to try and get into too many spoilers if you still do want to check out this film. I really always say, go check out the film, even if I have a different opinion, because I think some people could actually find different opinions on this one. Sputnik, for me, though, the thing that I was wanting to get from this, and especially just from the trailer, was a very atmospheric horror film that was really going to dive into the psyche, but also the horror tensions of a monster movie mixed in there. And this film does attempt that. This has many elements of, say, the Alien, Thing, and even Ex Machina. But some of those elements are very slow, very boring, and in a sense don't work out all the time. Let's just get the pros out of the way first off. The ambience, the dread, the feeling of mystery in this film, and the chilling atmosphere is very much in place here. The production design helps a lot with that, especially as well as the cinematography. This is a gorgeous looking movie. I mean, almost, you could probably screenshot almost 90% of this film and you would be just in awe. You could frame it. It's that beautiful to look at. And again, that production design, the cinematography really builds up this ambiance, this ambition, this mystery, this dread feeling just from the opening scene alone to the very finale. Every single one of those gives me just an awe feeling when I get to see that, because I love space and I love space movies, and I love when it really takes it back home to Earth, and it can dive into a lot of different things, and even also diving into the monster creation. The alien, the monster, whatever you want to call it, it's not the scariest thing in the world, but I like the design of it. I like how it is. I like the mythology behind it, how it came back, what it's doing. And I like some of the twists and turns that they do take with certain characters in here when it comes per se to that alien monster thing. This film taking place in the 80s, there are definitely many 80s tropey elements to a lot of old horror films that you can definitely feel like, oh yeah, this feels familiar, I've seen this before, and that's okay to do. That's okay to do. But for me, the problem with this film really comes down to, because everything with the alien, everything with the monster really pretty much works, I would say 85% of the time. The third act is actually really cool besides the last 5 minutes, which I thought was terrible. But the third act alone, when the alien finally gets out and starts doing its thing from the trailer, that's when I was like really into this, because I was like, damn, this is awesome. And maybe you can chalk it up to expectations, but I also was expecting a more slower type of paced film from this film, also from that trailer. But again, it just, this is what works. I'm okay with a film being slow, but when you're building up to that moment, the slow moments also have to be really interesting, but they're not. They try to be as psychologically interesting as, say, Ex Machina, another film that I mentioned earlier in this, and it just never hit the moment that it wanted it to hit. It always felt slow and meandering. It felt repetitive. It felt just boring, and I felt like many of those scenes could have either be taken out or not, and it just feels very stereotypical of many other films that we've seen before, feeling familiar, and in general, again, just feeling boring. For the first two acts alone, that's all you really get until the third act finally hits and it finally starts to pick up and it gets a little bit more entertaining. But at that point, I was pretty much lost. And I feel like the script in here tried to be more thought-provoking than it really needed to be. It had this interesting concept. I think it was okay to have some of the slow moments, but I think it should have just dived into the whole third act a little bit faster. And I think if this film would have shaved off at least 20 minutes of its runtime, it would have made and been executed way better. Sometimes having less is better than more, and I think that's what this director needed to learn in this aspect. Give you my final thoughts on Sputnik. Make sure again to comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys excited for this film? Are you not? Do you guys disagree with me? Let's have a great conversation down below in the comment section, as well as hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help me, and it'll definitely help you guys out with a bunch of early movie reviews and tons of extra geeky content. As well, guys, head on over to Sandwich on Films on how to see films early, and of course, it's a big thank you to you and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. Sputnik tries to be so much more than it really needed to be. It tries to have this thought-provoking script, but it really just falls into familiar and similar territories that we've seen in Alien, The Thing, and even Ex Machina. Films that I really much appreciate. Even though I've never seen The Thing, I've seen elements of it, and I can definitely see the similarities all throughout this film. Within those territories, I feel like someone who's never seen those films might dive into Sputnik and really love it, or even think it's boring. But I think for people who want a creature feature, and that's exactly what I kind of got from the trailers, I didn't really fully get that till the third act. Everything with the creature, awesome. Everything with the designs of those, awesome. But when it comes down to our main human characters, each and every one of them feels very tropey. The general, the psychiatrist, and alongside that, even the main guy who the alien came back with. There's some weird character choices that just make no sense, and I don't get why they would go down those road. The script just feels unwindy and uneven, especially when it comes down to its tone. And really, even though the cinematography, the production design, and a lot of the horror elements are really well done by the third act and really build up a sense of dread and mystery, I just never felt locked into this film at all. It's a beautiful looking movie. Do not get me wrong on that. But that can only go so far when the film is either not entertaining, not engaging, or nonetheless just really gratifying to kind of jump into. So with all that said, I'm going to give Sputnik a D+. Thank you guys once again for clicking on this video. You guys are seriously all the best. I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. So of course, until next time, stay classy.